Guys, welcome back to my channel as told by Muriel. Some of you may know, some of you may not. If you are new to my channel, I am a registered nurse of almost 2 years. February 2021 will make 2 years since I've taken my NCLEX. Prior to, I was a licensed practical nurse for 18 years. On today's video, I am going to discuss agency nursing as far as some of the questions you may want to ask if you are entering a facility and you're new to the facility. Some important things you may want to ask your offgoing nurse before or during shift report. I decided to do this video because I was trying to think of some topics and I was watching one of the YouTubers I follow, Fave Nurse B, and she was talking about a facility that she works. This gave me the idea that this might be a good topic for those who are entering into a facility, and even if they've never worked that facility before, or if they're new to agency nursing, some things that come second nature because you don't think to ask it at the facility that you commonly work, but in a new facility it would be something good to know before taking those keys. So hope you enjoy the video. Weekend I worked at a facility I had never worked before, and when I worked at a facility I had never worked before, and when I came on to get report from the nurse, I wasn't early. I came in, I was early. I came in like 6:55, but unbeknownst to me, the floor I was going on was a floor with 37 residents. Okay, that's a lot for a day shift nurse. I know back in the day, you know, people were being assigned 37, 40 residents, but on that's something fairly new to me now. Having been in Columbia so many years, I haven't worked a floor with so many residents on day shift in a long time. But you know, I was thinking, hey, they paying me well, girl. Just come on and knock this shift out. Got a report from the offgoing nurse, and you know, I'm thinking long-term care, I've been doing this forever, you know, just give me the basics, take their meds, hold a crush, you know, let me move right along. And as the day progressed, I realized, okay, it's little things that I should have asked that nurse that I didn't ask before she left, that would have saved me some time. So let me just say, one of those things, okay, of course, if they take their meds hold a crush, that's one of the things you want to know, because you don't want to give a patient who takes meds crush whole medication because they could choke on it, and you don't want that on your shift. Also, find out who the doctors are, the medical director. Find out who that is for that facility. Find out where you can locate the number. Go ahead and locate it before the nurse leave. Also, if there is an on-call schedule, because the medical director after 5 p.m. may not be the person who's on call. And I learned that, not going to say the hard way, but this particular shift, the medical director was in the building writing prescriptions so that no one was out of narcotics or any medication, any benzos or anything throughout the weekend. But I just assumed, I don't know why, that he would be the same doctor that I would call later on in the evening, and something did occur and I had to call the doctor, and he just told me, he was like, I'm not on call. And I apologized to him and I told him, you know, I saw you earlier today. I just assumed, you know, that you were who I called, but I apologized. I hung up, and then I located the on-call calendar and I realized it was the other medical director or whatever who was actually on call. So I had to reach out to that person. That whole little thing took like about 5 to 10 minutes out of my time. And you know, as working as a nurse, time is very valuable. Had I asked the offgoing nurse that before she left, I would have known these things, as well as asked to see where the acute charting book is. Most facilities have an acute charting book. In this book, it will tell you if any patient has anything acute going on, such as a recent fall, a skin tear, started on antibiotics, any behavior changes, any new medication, anything such as that nature, which is important to know if you're going to be working that floor, for one, because you're going to have to chart on these things before you leave, and two, that might explain some changes or whatever that may occur during the shift with your patient. You might walk in a room and you just see this patient with this big old bruise all over their face, and you don't, you know, what's going on or what happened, or you see a cut on their arm, or a skin tear, and you don't know that actually occurred 2 days prior from a fall or whatever. It's just that maybe the dressing came off, and so instead of freaking out like, oh, I got to do an incident report, you just need to go and redress that wound, something like that, something acute like that. Just little things you need to know. Or the patient is on antibiotics, so you need to go and take this patient's temperature, and you need to document that. Also, ask to see, not ask to see, but ask if there are any residents who are dialysis patients. Because knowing this, you'll know to first look for a fistula or shunt or a permacaf or anything that the patient may have, because that's something you're going to want to assess throughout your shift. As well as you may have a patient who's leaving that day for dialysis, and you don't want transportation rolling in there and you don't know what's going on. Well, we come to take Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so to dialysis. You had no idea, and now you're scrambling to get the paperwork together that they need to take with them to dialysis. So that's something important to ask. Do I have any patients who go to dialysis today? Also, appointments. Do I have any patients that are leaving out on an appointment today? That's something you want to know ahead of time as well, because what if the consultation sheet and the face sheet and all that wasn't prepared for you the night before? You had to prepare that paperwork before they go for an appointment. Being an agency nurse, you kind of get thrown out there. They're looking at you like, oh, well, she's making X amount of dollars, so whatever, let her get it together. And I really feel like that's what occurred with me. I was an agency nurse, so they were like, hey, let her handle these 37, 38 patients. She getting paid to do it, because from what I was told, they normally have a nurse working 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. just to help with the med pass, which I didn't have. Excuse me, I'm getting a little temperature dropping. Also, ask if you have any brittle diabetics. We know in nursing, we have those patients who you can give a patient 2 units of Novolog and their blood sugar go from 180 to 52. Ask if you have any brittle diabetics, because you may want to, just go around and just lay your eyes on them just to make sure nobody is profusely sweating. They're able to be aroused, and just make sure no one's in a diabetic coma, basically, when you take report. Also, as well as I had a patient who was scheduled for 10 units of Novolog in the morning, with meals, and I happened to get to that patient's room like about 7:35, but breakfast didn't come out till like 8:30. Now that's only an hour, but if I had administered those 10 units of Novolog, that patient blood sugar, I don't know what it was that morning before when it was checked at 6 a.m. Because I wasn't given that in report. But what if their blood sugar was only like 75 that morning when they were checked around 6 a.m. and I administered 10 units of Novolog? That patient's blood sugar could drop, not 10 units, I'm sorry. The patient was ordered to receive 8 units of Novolog. Now, what if I would have gave that and then this patient had a 75 blood sugar with their AM check? Now I'm giving them 8 units of Novolog. Their breakfast doesn't come till 8:30. I could drop that patient down to their 40s. I know all about peak time, onset, and all that, but we know every patient is different. That for 8 units in that short amount of time could drop that patient down to their 40s, and now I got another situation on my hand. So always, ask, do I have any brittle diabetics? So you'll know to just go lay your eyes on them. And ask about behaviors. There are patients who have behaviors, they can look perfectly normal to you, and then you go to approach their bed. Hi, Mr. So-and-so, I have your medication. And they start swinging on you. Or, hi, Mr. So-and-so, I have your medicine. And they start kicking and punching. You want to know if you have any patients who have behavior problems such as that, so to, for one, approach them a certain way, to keep a distance. Maybe in a nursing home, but there are patients in a nursing home who have psychiatric problems, and you don't want to be caught in a crossfire, because you'll end up being hurt because someone didn't tell you, oh, watch out for Mr. So-and-so. He likes to kick and punch. Or watch out for Mr. So-and-so. When you hand him don't hand him his medication. Sit it on his table, let him pick it up, because when you reach your hand out, he may grab you or scratch you or something like that. Also, I had a patient who didn't like water, and I didn't know this, and this wasn't this particular shift, but had a patient who didn't like water, so I took him his medication. He actually took a sip of the water, behind the pill and then threw the cup at me and called me BI, BI what, because I don't take water with my medicine, you be. So I didn't know that. Had I known, I would have never taken him water, because this patient has a history of lashing out or, just being mean or whatever to the staff. So had I known that, I would have never taken him a cup of water. So yeah, this is a short video. Like I said, I was inspired by the video from my fave Nurse B. Just some things that you may want to, if you're new to going to a new facility, some things you may want to ask, so that your day can go not rather smooth, but some things you can avoid. Little 5-minute things here, 5-minute things there. When you add them up, these little things could take an hour out of your day trying to resolve. Had you just asked the off-going nurse, you could have avoided these things. So, as usual, I am Muriel. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below. And I just want to say thank you to all 124 of my subscribers. It's been a slow walk, slow crawl, but I'm thankful for all of my subscribers. And if you like this video, please just hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I am not participating in Vlogmas. I can barely get my videos out on time as it is. So yeah, I just want to wish all of you happy holidays, and I will see you guys in the next video. I think actually I might record one right behind this one, so I can have another one prepared for you guys in the next couple of days. Talk to you later. Bye.